Hi guys, today what we're doing is lesson 19 and our objective is that we will subtract fractions with unrelated units. So in lesson 18 we added fractions with unrelated units, and now in lesson 19 we're going to be subtracting fractions with unrelated units. So first I want you to look at this problem and think about this problem. 5 apples minus 3 oranges. Now, can we take 3 oranges from 5 apples? No, we can't. So if we wanted to subtract oranges from apples, we would have to make them a common unit. And so with apples and oranges, in order to be able to subtract these, we have to have a common unit. And what they both have in common is that they are both fruit. So we can change our units to fruits or pieces of fruit. 5 fruit minus 3 fruit gives us 2 fruit. And it makes it so much easier to subtract. So that's what we're going to do with our fractions. We're going to change to common units in order to subtract. Okay, so we're going to start with 1/3 and 1/4. And we know that when we are subtracting units that are unrelated, we have to use an area model. So we're going to draw our 2 area models. So one needs to be divided horizontally, and one needs to be divided vertically. Okay. So think about which is greater, 1/3 or 1/4. Well, 1/3 is greater because it has a smaller denominator and therefore the pieces are going to be larger. Do you think our answer when we're subtracting 1/3 or 1/4 from 1/3, is it going to be a big fraction or a small fraction? Well, when I have 1/3 and I'm taking 1/4 from 1/3, that's going to be a pretty small fraction that we have left when I take 1/4 away from that, right? So we know that our fraction is going to be very small. So we're going to break up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to decompose our units. And our common unit is going to be, oops, I did that wrong. Let's back up a little bit. We want to break our fourths into thirds, not into fourths, because we want 12 in our denominator, and we want to break our thirds into 4 pieces. So we always want to break into our opposite denominator. So with 1/4 or 1/3, my opposite denominator is 4. So here I did 4 pieces. Then with 1/4, my opposite denominator is thirds, and I did 3 pieces here. Okay, so we have 3/12 in this fraction and 4/12 in this fraction. And I actually drew them opposite, right? Because the third, this is 1/3 and this is 1/4. And we have to take the smaller fraction from the larger fraction. So we have 3 pieces here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 pieces from our third, and we are left with just 1 piece. So our subtraction problem is going to be 4/12 minus 3/12, and that leaves us with 1/12. Here is our next problem. 4/5 minus 1/2. We're going to draw our two area models. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives us 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's shade that in blue. There's our 4/5. Then we have 1/2. Okay, so we want to decompose is our next step. We decomposed our 5ths in half, and we want to decompose our halves into 5ths. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tenths minus 5 tenths. And we want to take these 5 and cross out 5 in our 8 tenths. So that leaves us with 3 tenths left over. Okay, let's do one last problem. 3/4 minus 1/3. Okay, without using an area model, can we solve this problem? What can our common denominator be? In order to find a common denominator, we are multiplying the fractions by the opposite denominator. So we have 3/4, and the opposite denominator is 3. And then over here we have 1/3, and the opposite denominator is 4. That should get us a common denominator. Times 3 times 3, that gives us 9/12. And if we did 1/3 times 4 times 4, that leaves us with 4/12. So now we can do 9/12 minus 4/12. Okay, so let's do this one. 9/12 minus 4/12 is equal to 5/12. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so you're going to take what you learned today and go ahead and use it in order to solve your practice problems.